Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Nova and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today is her ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands. Little tiny corrections and lots of motivation and praise that we give our dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any little correction that's needed, and the only little correction we give is a tug and release on their training collars. That is the second piece of equipment that we're using, and they will come home with their very own training equipment. Now Nova is sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. The command is Nova heel, and at this point she has a job to do, and that is to maintain relatively loose leash walking with Rich. Matching pace with him, looking up at him, being more focused, and when Rich stops his feet, she has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. And they're heeling as she's looking at me. They take off heeling again, and this makes you the pack leader. This makes you leading the walk. You notice Rich doing turns. She turns with Rich. She stays right next to him. No more dragging you, and when you stop your feet to cross traffic or talk to someone, she should be sitting. This is your sit-stay. And at home, you're going to practice the length of time that they can hold it and the distance that you can go. When Rich returns back to her, he will walk right back to her shoulders where they started, and she should stay sitting there until she gets her next command, and he tells her to heel again. Give her big chest pat for praise, and off they go. Nice sit.
Stay.
Another stay. And it's very windy out here, so if you see her looking around, she's distracted. The leaves are blowing, the acorns are falling, so I have to give her credit. This is her recall. And we talked about jumping on the phone. This is how you get her not to jump. You call her in and have her sit, not come in and launch herself at you. And Rich will demonstrate that recall again for us. And you can see she's happy. Her tail's up and wagging. She sits beautifully. Rich leaves her in a stay, and then he will use her name. Now she got up before he told her to. So he told her no, sit, repeats the command. And then he calls her, she comes and sits, and she gets a reward. Now we have a little blanket out here for her for the down commands. Some dogs like it, some dogs don't like laying down outside in the dirt. So we always give them the option of laying down on a blanket. So she sits first, and then down, and then stay. And you can practice this command indoors as well as outdoors. And again, you want to lengthen out the amount of time she can hold it and the distance that you can go. It's another recall. But you can see that the whole time Rich is working with her, she's very much under control. She's not jumping. And this is one of the ways to interact with your dogs in a positive way. It's not constant chaos. You're asking them to perform a skill, and they get rewarded for performing that skill for you. But you can work them individually. We have worked them together, but that's going to take you some practice. She's done a great job. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And we're going to be back in just a moment with Knox.